Hello and welcome to Crypto Novus. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Chris Brown and I'm your host. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the price prediction for Algorand in 2021. This was a request from a member of the community within Crypto Novus, so Brandon, this is for you. I didn't know much about this project until I actually did this video, so I learned a little bit myself. And so I look forward to sharing the information with you, and hopefully you get a little nugget of gold as well that you can use in your investment strategy. So let's jump into it. First, I'd like to give a shout out to Bitcoin IRA. Again, those of you who are looking for a different way to invest within the crypto market, you presently have an IRA or you want to open an IRA, I would highly recommend that you reach out to Bitcoin IRA at bitcoinira.com. As always, this video is not and should not be perceived as crypto investment advice. As always, do your own research before you make any choices in investing in the crypto market so that you understand all the risks and that you can formulate the best strategy possible for you and your family as you continue to invest in this market. So let's jump into ALGO basics. First off, this is a blockchain platform. So let's look at what happened with the ALGO project since 2017. Well, first and foremost, it launched actually in June of 2019. So it's been in the marketplace really only for a very short period of time. Second, within that short period of time, it managed to reach within the top 100. This is a result of number 3, which is their impressive management team, which we'll go into more detail later. Number 4, they have actually right now 3.7 billion ALGO tokens stacked, and which are yielding an APY of 7.3%. Number 5, the Algorand project formulated a partnership with the Marshall Islands, and they are coming up with the first global national digital currency with the Marshallese sovereign called the SOV. Number 6, they have a Brixton pound partnership that they just recently announced. And number 7, they have an Instimatch global partnership that they just recently announced, and we'll look into both of those in more detail later. Let's look at the number of ALGO tokens. Okay, the company originally started with 10 billion mined tokens at the very beginning, and no more tokens can be mined. Tokens are distributed, is up to the foundation and the Economic Advisory Committee, and it's done in a scheduled format, which gives you an indication of how organized this group of people are. Presently, the circulation supply is at 1.2 billion, which is approximately 12% of the maximum supply of 10 billion. They have an impressive team. This is the executive team. I would highly recommend that you take the time to go to the Algorand site and look through their leadership team, their various advisory committees, and take a look at the CVs of these individual people. This is an impressive team, and there's a good number of them as well, which I think is going to lead to a high level of success for this company going forward. So the founder is Silvio Micali. He oversees the research, including theory, security, and crypto finance. Steve Kokonos, he is responsible for the overall business vision and strategy. He's a serial entrepreneurial. He was the co-founder and executive chairman for Fuse, if you know the drink. And then Sean Ford, he's the COO and is responsible for the go-to-market execution and the operations, including product management, engineering, marketing, and global community development. So let's take a look at ALGO's 2020 successes. So first, I want to start with the main guy, Silvio. In any project, in any business, the leader really has a major impact on the success of whatever the project is that they're working on. It's this person's intelligence and their passion. In this particular case, this guy I highly respect. He is known as the grandfather of crypto. He's a part of the MIT faculty in the electrical engineering and computer science department. He has a PhD in computer science from UC Berkeley. Since 1983, he has been involved in research in cryptography, securing protocols, blockchain, and much, much more in this space. He's also the co-inventor of probabilistic encryption and other protocols, foundation to modern cryptography. So he really understands cryptocurrencies, if you will, because he understands the science and the technology behind it. He's a recipient of many awards, one of which is the RSA Prize in Cryptography. And in 2017 is when he actually founded Algorand. So let's take a look at Algorand's technology and the problem they're trying to solve. It's called the BlockChain Trilemma. And quite frankly, I didn't know anything about this until I started looking into this company. When you're dealing with cryptography, there's three things that you're trying to solve. You want security, you want scalability, you want decentralization. Well, the reality is that up to this point, you could only get two. To give you an example, Bitcoin, it managed to gain security and decentralization, but it obviously, as we all know, it's not very scalable. What Algorand has decided to use as a solution to BlockChain Trilemma, they're working off the proof of stake consensus model, but what they have is what they call pure proof of stake for validating blocks onto its chain, which enables them now to capture all three of these. Now let's talk about the Brixton pound token. So the Algorand Foundation announced that it has entered into a grant partnership with Brixton Pound to help them develop a tokenized version of their local currency, which is called the Brixton Pound. For those you don't know what this is, within the city of London, there are about 250, maybe 300 different merchants that use a unique currency that they created during the 2008 financial crisis. So what they want to essentially do is they want to take their Brixton pound and they want to digitize it. So what Algorand has done on their blockchain is they have ensured that any payment that is being used on the digital Brixton pound will be fully complete and settled within 4.5 seconds. Obviously making it very useful. Partnership I want to talk about is Instimatch. So Instimatch Global is a digital platform for institutional short-term money market trading. This is a huge company. I can't even put my mind around how big this company is. They process hundreds of billions of dollars in transactions each quarter. And they have stated that a majority of these transactions will pass through the Algorand network. This is an exciting and really a big partnership for Algorand, which is really going to anchor them within the crypto market space and give them a lot of longevity. It's also going to, over time, really impact the price of this asset, and I think it's really going to make it a very, very good investment for someone who wants to hold the long term. So let's look into price predictions, which is why we are here. Okay, as we can see, Algorand is number 68, and this is from the CoinMarketCap website. This is the listing of basically the opinions of where Bitcoin could be in 2021. I'm not going to go into detail with it. I've done this before, but you can kind of read through what people are saying about it and where it could be and why I'm going to be using the numbers that I will be using. Okay, so let's jump into Algorand. So first off, it wasn't a part of the last bull run cycle. The company was founded in 2017, but it didn't get launched until June 19th of 2019. So I'm going to start at that point and see what has happened in the past. There's also another date up there. It's called August 19th, and I use that as well because that was really the date a market cap was established. The circulation supply as of August 19th, a little over 234 million, 2.3% of the 10 billion maximum supply. The market cap at that time was a little over $154 million. The total crypto market cap was $278 billion. The price on August 19th was 66 cents. The market dominance at that time was basically 0.05%. Now, Algorand's all-time high price was $3.28, which was when it first was launched and came onto the market. And then it came down since it came down from that location. On that day, and relative to Bitcoin, it was 0.032%. It dropped from there, and on the 19th of August, it was 0.00063. Those numbers are important to kind of note because you'll begin to understand why I chose the numbers that I did choose in trying to figure out my price prediction. As of today, January 24th, the circulation supply is a little over 1.2 billion, which is around 12% of the 10 billion maximum supply. Its market cap presently is a little over $681 million. The total market cap today was 950 billion. Its dominance right now, its market dominance is 0.07%. So it's high. It's higher than it was back in 2019, which is significant. Well, now you'll see that come up more. The price today was at 56 cents. To take a look and say, okay, if it was to get back to its all-time high, what would it need to do? It would only need to do a 5.8x to get back to $3.28. Relative price to Bitcoin, it's sitting right now basically 0.0017%. To get back to its all-time high, it would have to do an 18.8x. But to get to that number that that percentage that they had back in August 19th of 2019, it would only have to do a 3.7x. And that's significant because you'll see the numbers I'm going to use in it. So let's see what did it do in 2020? Well, it started at 21 cents. The year high last year was 64, which basically it 3x'd. So it was a 300% gain. So the question is, what will it do in 2021? So it started off the year January 1st at 40 cents. The question is, can it at least 3x and get to $1.20? Well, I think based on the numbers that I just looked at here, I think it's most certainly could 3x, especially relative to price to Bitcoin. It could definitely get up there because if you look at the price of where it's at with Bitcoin right now, it's really, really low. Algorand has not experienced the altcoin run that some of the other coins have had. Since Bitcoin has risen up, some of the altcoins have caught up to it, if you will. Other ones have not. Algorand is one that has not. So let's take a look and see what it could possibly do this year. So those of you that have listened to me before know that I take more of a conservative approach because I'm an investor. I'm the type of investor that I'm not into the hype. And I won't perpetuate the hype as well. All right, so for scenario one, again, if Bitcoin reaches 146,000, in scenario two, we'll take a look and see what happens to Algorand's price if Bitcoin hits 276,000. So as a foundation, what I just chose to do is I basically said, since Algorand has not been in a bull run, in the last bull run, we really don't know how it's going to perform. But we do know that from its inception back in middle of 2019 that it has done some improvements. It hasn't gone all the way back up to where it had been relative to Bitcoin. But in terms of market cap domination, it's done a little bit better. So what I essentially said is, if Algorand does what it's presently doing today and continues to do that all the way through 2021, what would the price be? At $146,000 Bitcoin, I simply chose the present percentage that it presently is at with Bitcoin, which is a 0.0017%, which would give us a price for Algo at $2.48, which would be about a 6.2x, which if you go back to the previous page, that does not seem unreasonable whatsoever. The circulation supply, I increased a little bit based on the chart that I showed earlier in the presentation. So I'm guessing that the circulation supply would be about 1.3 billion tokens, which would be about 13.8% of the 10 billion, and its market cap would be $3.4 billion. Now, if I did a price prediction based on Bitcoin being at 146 and the overall market cap of the crypto market at 3.3 trillion, and if I stayed with the same market dominance as it presently has right now, which would be 0.07, basically the market cap would be $2.3 trillion, which would give us an algo price of $1.66, or it would 4.1x. So that to me would be on the low end. So let's look on the high end. If Bitcoin reaches $276,000, its percentage price of Bitcoin, Algo's price could be $4.69, or it could 11x. Its circulation supply, again, is the same. Its market cap would be $6.5 billion. Now, if I look at it in terms of the overall crypto market cap as a percentage, came up to as high as 7 trillion towards the tail end of this year, and the market dominance of Algorand was still at 0.07, it would reach a market cap of $5.3 billion, or a single unit price of $3.88, which means it would 9.7x. I looked at all these numbers, I looked at some other numbers, and I felt that this was probably a very, very fair, conservative way of looking at the range that Algorand could do this year. So let's take a look and see how I've kind of summarized this. So basically I said on the low end, Algorand could be at $1.66. On the high end, it could be $4.69. As always, I do an average, which is $3.17. So when I take a look at if it ends the year at 317, which is very close to its all-time high. So that feels very, very probable to me. So if I take a look at where it started at the beginning of the year, that means that Algorand could easily do a 7.9x. I mean, this is conservative because we saw on the previous page, it could do a 9x or even more than that. So the investment target, if I were to use $1,400 and I multiplied it times 17.9, that $1,400 could turn into $11,000. Again, I think this is a conservative estimate, and I think that Algo could actually do a little bit more. So again, this is Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. If you guys appreciated the information contained within the video, please subscribe and join the community. And if you want a particular coin reviewed, I'm more than willing to do it. Again, Brandon, this was for you. If you like the information in the video, please hit the like button. So again, my name is Chris Brown. I am the host. This is Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. I will see you guys in the next video.